All right, we are live on a Friday night. Not a Friday night, but a Friday evening, right? Unless some people get tuned in before we take off here. This is going to be a good one. I finally got the Elgato card installed. I got the card installed, which is awesome. It took me a little bit to figure it out, though. Mostly because I have a older card. So what you're seeing on the desktop is not the editing rig. It's the rig that the camera is looking at. That is our test rig, but it's my main rig. So it's my main gaming rig. So we have it over there with the capture card hooked to it because it was closer to run the HDMI cables too. So we're just testing it. I can tell you the Alienware is competing very hard to turn into the editing rig because I cannot get my GoPro camera to work live on the editing rig. I worked with it for a little bit before it frustrated me again, and I walked away from it. So chat it up as you come in. Tell me tell me how you're doing, anything like that, and then when we get some people in here, we'll start testing it. I can turn the camera around here so you can see me. I'm sitting at the editing rig, the Alienware, but like I said, that screen that you're seeing is actually, there you go, make you a little bit taller here. How's that? You've grown up again. So the desktop screen you see is actually my gaming rig over next to me. So we're about to, we just need some viewers in here. We need some viewers in here. We'll run some bench testing on it and some other stuff, but I'm excited. It took me a little working on it to get this thing to work. So maybe we'll even do a little bit of iRacing on it. We'll see. But if we do, I'll have to use the monitor because the Oculus will be too jumpy on it. So we won't even attempt that. We'll just use the monitor if we do that. But the first thing we're going to do is our Nova bench test. I'll close the Heaven benchmark out that you see on the screen now. And we'll do Nova bench, but I'm happy. It seems like we got a capture card and it's working. So the capture card I picked up in a deal one day, and it's actually an Elgato HD 60 Pro. So that's our capture card. I had a heck of a time getting it to work, and that's because I had to install older software because the HD 60 Pro is an older capture card. So I did have to install some older hardware or older software for that card to work. But once I got it working, it seems to work good here. So I got it showing. I got my main gaming or racing rig hooked up right now, and we got it showing on the on our screen. So I could change that. Like if we wanted to see this desktop, then we go here, and then you'll see that the YouTube is opened up right there. But when we change to this one, then you see me on the camera, and then you see the gaming desktop sitting there. You'll see the iRacing logos on it, Discord, stuff like that. So pretty cool to see that. Let me know how you're doing when you come in. Put it in the chat. We'll test the chat out. Make sure our chat's working good here because I'm going to be able to check the chat. We're going to fire this thing up on some benchmarks pretty quickly, and we're going to see how they do and see. Most of this testing is for even the Tuesday videos and stuff like that. When I get these done, instead of holding the camera up to there, I would rather be able to just let you guys and gals see when it posts on the screen, right? So that's what I'm going to work on here. But tonight's just a test for it. I've never used one of those cards before, so it's a first time for me, and it's learning. You know that this is how you learn. And I know a lot of people had commented that I should get a capture card, so we finally got one. we finally got one and we're going to test it. I just want to get a few more people in here and start seeing the chat start popping a little bit. And then we'll get to testing and you guys can see what my main rig's capable of. That's what it's about, right? Tommy, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you in here. Yeah, I'm doing the capture card, so we're going to try it out with some bench tests in a second here, and we'll get it fired up. I see we got about 4 viewers in here now. Always awesome to see you in the chat, buddy. We'll get some more. We'll get this thing going. We'll get the bench test started on it pretty quickly here, and you guys will be able to see what my main gaming rig will do, right? Well, I mean, we know some of the results from my other ones. No, this is not the Xeon X99. This is actually, I'll show you what it is because I can switch the desktop. I forgot about that. So this is nice. We'll open it up a little bigger here. This is my i7-8700 in the Alienware Aurora R7. You see the graphics card is actually a 5700 XT 8 gig. No, 6600 XT 8 gig. 466 gigs of storage, 64 gigs of RAM in it now. So this has the Corsair, that white Corsair RAM in it. And it's pretty awesome. So we'll get it back to the other computer here. There we go. Turn that back on. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start a bench test. How about that? Let me get over here on this rig and we'll fire a bench test up. We won't do heaven first. What we're going to do is go ahead and pull up Nova Bench. If I can find it here. Oops, I shut my LEDs off. I really need to clean the dust off this thing. There we go, Nova Bench right here. My main gaming rig stacks up compared to some of the rigs we've tested, right? We're going to go ahead and hit the start button here, and we're going to let it complete the test. And you'll have to let me know in the chat how the video looks, because I don't know, but I'll be able to see what we got going on sitting in this chair here on the main rig. Tony, what's up, buddy? Yeah, this R7 works good. It's competing very hard to be the main rig now. This one is competing very hard. So really interesting to see where this stacks up on the Nova Bench. So we got that test running right here. I could put the camera in front of me, but it's going to take a little bit more maneuvering to do that. So I don't want to do all that maneuvering now. And we're going to do more than this testing on it. We'll fire up iRacing too, and I'll just run it on a single monitor. I'll try to get the audio working from that computer a little bit as well. I think I can do it here in OBS, but we'll see. We'll see when we get to that. Oh, that white screen's going to be the graphics test. There we go. It'll be interesting to see where that big boy next to us scores at, right? This is awesome, man. It's awesome to have a capture card set up and working finally. And looks like it's coming across the screen pretty good too. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see it, and you can see me sitting at the main rig. So it's working exactly like I planned. How's that? Look at the chat on my phone because I'll have to move that over there to where I'm going to be in a minute, but we're going to let this thing play out its Nova Bench scores. And we'll see where it's at. It was a little bit to get it working. It took me a little bit of time to get this thing set up and working, but we got it. I'd messed with it a little bit before, but like I said, the HD60 Pro is just the older version. So I had to find older software that it was happy with, and I found it on a Reddit post, believe it or not. So I normally, when I run iRacing, I'm just going to forewarn you that I typically do it on an Oculus, but I'm going to do it on a single monitor today. So you're going to see that on a single monitor. And that's coming up after our bench tests are done, because we want to see what my racing rig, my main rig that I game on, what it is capable of doing stacked up against some of these other ones. So what's our Nova bench score there? 3320. You can see it stacks up pretty good, actually. So 3320 on Nova bench. We got a 2072 on the processor, 659 on our graphics, 273 on our 1 terabyte SSD, which is a NVMe drive, and 316 on the memory. So when I tested it 3 months ago, right around the same, 3244, 3142. So right around the same. Where does that stack us in the grand scheme of it? This system ranks higher than 91% of all systems tested on Nova Bench, on Nova Bench. So let's go ahead and fire up Heaven Benchmark real quick. We're going to run ultra settings on it. We'll get it loaded up. This is where you're going to hear some fans ramp up. And then we'll get, I know there's audio to this, so we'll try to see if we can get some of that audio to come through on our stream here. Oh, let's see here. I don't see any, I actually don't see any audio coming from it at all. But let's fire up the sound capture here. We'll see if that works. Let's see if I can figure out how to make that work. All right, let's see some more chat. Getting a little boring here. We got to see a little bit more chat. I'm going to try to get the sound to work. I don't know if it's going to or not. Oh, PC gaming. We'll try that. It says Realtek audio. I don't know. I don't know how to do the sounds yet. I'll have to work on that. Man, I can hear them fans ramping up next to me, though. We're about ready to give that thing a workout. I'll go ahead and close that. I don't want to mess anything up on the stream. We don't necessarily have to have sound from that device, right? Elgato sound capture. It's got an explanation point. So what if I hit settings here? Which output is your Elgato capture? I don't know if it takes a separate cable for that either. I don't know which output we're connected to either, so maybe we'll try that. I don't see anything, so we'll try that one. Still don't see nothing. I'm just going to give up on the sound for now. That's going to be the best way to do that. But we're running Nova Bench right now. I'm sure that looks familiar to a lot of you if you've been around PC gaming and building and testing and stuff. I'm not the only builder on these things that test that way. It's a really good test for a graphics card, actually. And it's good for stability because it's going to load the card 100% pretty much. And if you got a problem with the card overheating or anything, you're going to find it out when you do a Nova Bench run of it. That's a fact. And if there's going to be any artifacting or problems with the card when it heats up, you're going to see that on a Nova Bench run as well. I'm going to flip the camera back around to the system we're testing. I'm going to drop you down a little bit lower right here. We need some better lighting here too. That's a fact. And I am going to fire up our Moza wheel. So press the power button on that and get it going. I'll shut the doors back here too, so we're not disturbed here. And I'm going to grab my phone where I can see the live chat, because as soon as this is over, I'm going to hop in there and we're going to jump on iRacing. That's the plan anyway. We're going to see how it does on single screen. I'm going to have to download some overlays too. So we're going to need some overlays for this stuff, so I'll look at downloading some of it. I appreciate everyone who's tuning in so far. We are running a Nova Bench benchmark, and what did we get? 7,623, 302.6. That is on ultra settings. So not too bad, definitely higher than any of the other ones I build. We're going to close this out, and we're going to go ahead and exit our benchmark here. On this rig, I don't have a lot of room for the mouse and stuff to move around, so I kind of just got to deal with it here. All right, let's get out of that. Let's go ahead and fire up iRacing, and let me get in the rig here. We'll do a little bit of testing for you. So if you haven't seen iRacing or you haven't done any sim racing, this is a Moza R5 wheel. Oh, get my old butt in here. I'll move the seat up a little bit. All right. So pretty good Nova Bench run right there. I am in the racing rig now. I'm going to throw my headset on here. I need a new headset. That's a fact. This thing is rough. All right, let's go to iRacing UI. We'll set up a test real quick. You can see everything loading up over on the screen, so I know it's working. I wish I could get the sound to work. That would be cool. So let's hit test drive right here. We'll take the truck. What track do we want? I don't know. We'll just pick one. Let's do Bristol. Display mode's not going to be Oculus. We're going to run monitor here. So let's see if it works, right? I'll have to work on getting the sound working, though. I have longer HDMI cables ordered. So when those get here, we'll be able to run it to the machines we tested. That's what this is all about. So, well, I guess it needs to configure my graphics to run it off the monitor here. We're going to run 19 by 20. I'm going to run it in the windowed mode without a border. So let's finish that out, and we'll get loaded into the session right here. And this is on my main rig, not on any test rigs or anything. But we could throw one of my test computers up here and test on it too, temporarily. But tomorrow I'll have long enough HDMI cables to reach this rig and go to whatever we're working on over there where I typically build them and work on them at. So we'll be able to do that. Let's see some chat. I don't see any chat. Let's get some chat going here. All right, so we are in here. The first thing I'm going to do is go unlimit the graphics. Go to advance. We're going to go no limit on the frame rates. Oh, we'll draw all the cars. We're a lot of high and medium, mostly high detail here, which is what it should be actually. And there we go. So we got a little bit of sound going. I got to remember, I think it might be shift brackets. Oh, that's part of it. This looks weird. I haven't used the monitor in a long time, so this looks really weird. So we are in the truck at Bristol Motor Speedway. I need to load my paint job too. I'll have to turn trading paints on. All right, so you can see running around Bristol here in a truck. Using very little brake going into the corner. A lot of throttle control here, though. About over 200 frames a second, but we don't have anyone else in the session because this is just a private test here. The truck seems really stable around here. It's not loose or anything. It's a little bit on the tight side. See the lines right up by the wall here. Oh, lost it that time. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. That'll definitely leave a mark, right? So if you're still hanging in there, let me know. Hit the like button, put a chat message in. Whatever you want to do. We're running some testing here on the Elgato capture card. I'm testing it on iRacing. We're on my main rig right now. Oh, a little loose off the corner. That was my fastest lap of the session, though. So Sensation's doing what he does. A lot of throttle control in the corner at Bristol. I got the settings turned up on the Moza a little bit, so it will definitely fight you going in the corner if you see me turning hard here. That's why. These direct drive wheels got a lot of torque to them, so. And this is just the R5. The bigger you get, the stronger the wheel is. More Newton meters it is, actually. So we'll run about 15 laps here. Oh, loose going in that time. Oh, saved it. Nice job. We'll run a couple more laps. Just want to see how it does on the live stream here. Then I'll go back to the main computer and we'll do some talking. This part of it's fun. The part where I'm not frustrated trying to do some cable management or something or trying to get a motherboard working or something like that. I'm not going to call it relaxing because I'm definitely not doing that either. So we got about 15 laps in here, and it's definitely weird on the single monitor. I'm not going to lie. Oh, I know what we can do. We'll set this thing to stream and watch a race. How's that? Let's see if we can do that real quick. That'll get, oh, I didn't mean to shut all that down. So I'm going to go to spectate. Oh, let's find something. ARCA, asphalt, 3 races. I guess we could try that. Have to open this up a little bit. View sessions. 0 race, 2 practice, 1 time trial. I don't know. Don't look like anyone. Says there's 20 people in that one, so we'll just set it to watch. I'll pick a car, continue, continue. See my computer ramp down again. All right, who's still out there? Who's watching the stream? Who do I still got? No, we don't want to use the Oculus. We want to use our monitor. So we're going to launch that one. And this is just basically going to put us in a watch mode of this practice right here. I'm going to slide out of the rig. And I'll have to get my shoes out and put them back on. They're my slippers anyway. I'm going to let this load up, though. While this is loading up, I'll slide out a little bit. I'm going to minimize that so I can fire up the trading paints. All right, we got that going on. And we're going to let this load on into this session here. So far it looks like, from what I can see, the capture card's working really well. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. And you are just watching a practice session right here. Well, let's do control page down and shrink that. So there you go, right here on a live stream. That's a practice session. I don't know where they're at, though. Martinsville, maybe, with the ARCA car? No, Lanier. So they're at the short track, Lanier. And man, I ought to jump in and race that. I love that track, man. Short track's where I cut my teeth on this thing. So, ooh, let's get the headset off. About to choke myself getting off there, and that headset's broken, and it broke all the way in half when I dropped it. Oh, you have to see that. That is the end of the Razer headset. Check it out. It snapped that thing in half. It was old, wore out, and junk anyway, so all we did dropping it was put it out of its misery. Oh, I love it. Oh, let me out of this rig. The camera's in my way. I'm too big, too fat now. I'll get my shoes on. I'll flip the camera around here. This is awesome. I kind of like having that capture card and learning it, getting it figured out. I need to get the audio to start transferring over, but we'll work on that in the future. That'll be one of the things we work on. Yeah, it's Lanier. It's Lanier's a good, fun short track for sure. Oh, let's go to desktop audio and turn that up a little bit, but I don't see anything on it. Definitely not on the capture device. So I will have to figure the audio out. You can see some guys running some practice. If you hear if you see him getting a wall, it's just Lanier. Look how loose that car is, though. This poor fella in the 5's definitely struggling a bit. We'll watch a 25. We'll see if he's got any better luck around here. Yeah, he wrecked more than once, didn't he? I believe he was wrecking every time he come out, Tommy. To get this thing flipped back around. Oh, good stuff right there. So all in the name of testing a capture card, right? We all in the name of testing a capture card. We're getting to watch a little bit of practice right here. And it's really cool that I can do that from my other rig. So the capture card is a cool addition. Now when I'm doing a live stream on these motherboards, you'll be able to see the board post. Yeah, definitely not. I mean, these are guys like you or I on iRacing right now, and they're just in a practice session. So I pulled that up there so you could watch a little bit of it and see more than one car. Maybe we'll be able to grab a race, and we'll try a race on it. So this live stream was to test the capture card, and I'm really happy with how it's working so far. When I get the longer cables in, I'll be able to reach the bench over there. They're pretty simple to figure the card out. You just install it in the computer, make sure you got the right software for it. That's not probably the easiest part. But once you get that, you can run your HDMI cables. Man, I played NR 2003 for a long time, man. Loved it. Yeah, get a capture card. My first time trying it, I like it. I mean, I couldn't be happier with how it's working. I need more lighting in the room, though. I'm going to work on that as I get more work done in here. I'm going to look at putting more lights in. Probably going to replace my dual light bulb fixtures with shop lights. I think that's the best way to light this thing up. And you can, I know the new LEDs, you can even daisy chain them. So we might be able to daisy chain 2 or 3 or 4 of them. But it'll definitely give us the lighting we need. I got to get to a big cleanup. I got a stack of motherboards in the junk box pile. A couple of those I want to work on and try to fix. And we'll probably do that on our Thursday live stream, go through some of that stuff. But other than that, I'm going to clean that area out behind my workstation and get everything organized and stack computer cases and stuff like that. I have some HTPC cases and stuff over there. I have a bunch of steering wheels when it comes to sim racing stuff. So a guy has a bunch of that. That's probably due to the on iRacing, you can do custom car numbers. So he would be the number 5, and now that the custom car number is showing Tommy, it's going to custom show the 48. So if I go into the session and pull that driver up, he'll actually be in the number 5. But on Trading Paints, the custom paint is showing a 48. So that's what that is. It's called hide car numbers in iRacing. So that's how you do that. It's called hide car numbers or hide custom car numbers, something like that. I have to do it during the broadcast because if not, it won't show their cut. It'll show the default iRacing, but it won't show their custom paint or their custom number. So it's pretty cool to watch that session. We'll see when those guys get out of there. When they jump out of there real quick, it's because they're just about ready to get into a race. So we might go check the race out and just watch the race with the live stream here. I want to thank each and every one of you who've tuned in so far. It's a lot of fun testing these capture cards out. I don't know. I don't have the load of streaming on the rig that we're testing, and we can put that load off on our Alienware here. And it's handling it perfectly. So we don't have a problem with that. And you guys get to see a little bit of craziness on iRacing in the meantime. Yeah, on NR 2003, I'm assuming that you still have to share your paint files on that. There's not anything like Trading Paints that'll work where you can upload your paints to a certain app and then everybody be able to see it, or do you have to share with everybody to see it like we did in the old days with it? I know in the old days we used to share paint files for that. And that's one of the nice parts about iRacing is Trading Paints integrated with it. So when we do a paint, we upload it to Trading Paints, and everybody with Trading Paints can see your paint job on your car. And that's one of the reasons I started it, so we could see some of these paint jobs on this. Man, I'll tell you what, it don't matter if it was showing them as a 5 or 48, Tommy, that dude is having a problem keeping that car underneath of him at Lanier, buddy. That thing is wicked, wicked loose. I could jump in that practice session. Airwolf 84 car now. Nice. Yeah, I remember the Airwolf show. I remember that. I'm pretty sure that car would be badass. Man, that 48's struggling, ain't he? That car looks wicked loose out there. This is the Arca Menard series car. So it's actually a really cool car to drive. They're pretty bulletproof too. So I like this car. I guess this would be a way you could stream and broadcast races too, if you wanted to. I don't have none of my overlays or nothing on that computer though to pull up. Or I would definitely do it. I could put them on there though. And then we could pull one up, but I still would have to. I could run the mouse over here. If I run that mouse over here, I can control that computer. That might be an idea, actually, because I think the cable will definitely work. And I could probably I could probably use that mouse to control what's going on over there. And then we could put overlays on it and we'll just go in and watch races, right? Sometimes it's funny to do that. Me and my some of the guys in the league used to sit around, and I would go through and pull these things up and randomly broadcast them. But someone was doing that and making fun of the people that were wrecking, and they got their iRacing account suspended for it. So I have to be careful if they start tuning into this. If I'm going to do it, I have to do it without ridiculing anyone too bad. So I think we could do that, though. I think we could probably do that without hurting anyone's feelings or anything like that. This is kind of what I wanted to see with the channel. The capture card, whoever suggested that to me first in the comment section, thank you. Because ultimately it does, as you can see, work great. We have the other computer running. And I'm thinking about dragging that mouse over here. Like I said, I may do that now if I can get to the stuff. We'll drag that mouse over there and we'll be able to control this crap. Ooh. We're going to have to unplug the mouse and move it. If you've seen all the cables I got running in the back of this thing, I'm going to tell you right now, this is no joke. All right, where's it at? Over there? Okay. We're just going to unplug the mouse for a minute. And we're going to try to get it through all this. Well, this is a disaster. I ain't kidding you. We'll probably knock the computer out in a minute. Man, these fans are ramping up. We are working on the main rig a little bit. It'll get really loud when I'm racing. All right, I think that mouse will reach over there. We're about ready to mess something up for sure. We'll get that mouse over here. All right, get back in my chair. Run that cable up out of the way. Oh, yeah, we can see the mouse now. Oh, the problem is we're in full screen. Oh, crap, I don't have keyboard controls. Dang, that ain't good. Yo, what's going on, buddy? He better tighten it up. He's yeah, when that race gets started, we'll watch it. I got the mouse now. We're good. Oh, no more fires here. I'm done with those. We already had our fire PC when we blew that 990FX up. I'm going to tell you right now, I had a couple saber-tooth boards in old PC show up on Marketplace today. And a guy's thinking about making a Marketplace run to go get them. Another 990FX and a Z97, both of them saber-tooth boards. So why not? I bought two saber-tooth 990FXs and both of them don't work. So why not go get another one, right? Or another two, and we'll see if we can have four that don't work. I don't know. Those older boards, I think that using them years and years for gaming, that it weakens the capacitors and stuff up. So you're playing Russian roulette with them, kind of like our, believe it or not, our X99 machinist motherboard. We're definitely playing Russian roulette with that one. because it's not far from an explosion with one of those capacitors. You would not believe how hot the North Bridge gets on that thing. Yes, it is iRacing. That's absolutely what you're watching there. We literally have it on a practice session for the Arca Menard series at Lanier. So that is an official practice. I figured the race will be starting pretty quickly. Them VRMs heat up really hot on that. On the X99, that's why it's not in the editing rig no more. And the editing rig might not be the editing rig anymore. This Alienware sitting right here is a beast for this stuff. If the stream looks good, you can thank it as much as you can my racing computer that's doing this. And it looks beautiful. I'm watching it on my phone. It looks absolutely gorgeous. The stream does. Yeah, the VRMs on you're right. We may do further testing on that. I might put that board, hook it up. Why are we buffering? That's probably only on my phone, hopefully, but hopefully the stream's not buffering. You'll have to tell me if it is. That was probably on my phone because I think I'm Wi-Fiing for the other end of the house, literally, which I'm about to walk up that way for a minute and get a drink. But what I'm getting back to what I'm saying on that machinist board, I think maybe we might take that machinist board and really put it through the paces. And we'll see if we can make it pop a cap and see where it pops a cap at, right? Something's going to give on it. If it's getting that hot, it's going to burn a hole in something. There's no doubt about it. It was so hot it would burn you if you touched your fingers to it, literally. So usually when they get that hot, there's something about ready to go. And I felt that above the CPU. So that was where those fans are on that North Bridge. I'm going to say that that's probably not good, right? I don't think I'm going to order any more machinist motherboards. I wouldn't resell this one to anybody. So maybe I would order one just for testing stuff, you know? But I don't think I could, I don't think in good conscience I could sell that to someone that way. I'm not that kind of person. And I can't turn the camera around because I have a build you haven't seen yet sitting up there. And I can tell you that I'm really, really happy with that one. You might see that hooked up to the whole capture card, HDMI cables running with USB cables, and man, the great USB cable though failure yesterday. How about that one, right? We lost our camera on the live stream, so we had the great USB failure yesterday. And I don't know if I'm gonna cut out or not, but I'm gonna walk up and refill my tea. Yeah, I think that adding the fans might help. I think ultimately, if you took a heat sink and put some of the thermal padding on it on top of those VRMs and got that heat sink to sit on there and just zip tie it on or something, that it would be better. And I have thought about doing that because you have to cool them VRMs down or there's going to be an issue. No doubt about it. Especially when the board gets so hot that it'll burn you when you touch it, and it'll literally, that thing will leave blisters, and I'm not making any of that up. So the problem I'm having with the editing rig, and I keep mentioning that the Alienware's competing for a spot for that. The Alienware, let's face it, has a better processor. You can't really compare a 4790 to a 8700, right? A 4th gen to an 8th gen. So we know we got a better processor here. I can't get this camera to work on the editing rig. So I've tried and I've tried and I've spent too much time on it and I can't get the camera to work on it. But with the Alienware, I can plug it in. We're on our old USB cable. That new one took a crap too. But I can't get the camera to work on that. So I think I'm going to swap all the hard drives over to the Alienware and the Corsair case and use it from now on. So this is going to be our streaming rig. It's already been our streaming rig, and it's going to be our editing rig on top of that. So I think this might be what stays here now. when it comes to doing the video editing and the streams. And if you were watching yesterday, then you know towards the end of the stream, I mentioned doing a giveaway on an ITX build. And I mean that. At 1,000 subscribers, we will build that ITX computer and we'll give it away. Oh, let's see here. You can mount a thermal right CPU cooler to blow output on the VRM. I did that on my son's computer and he gains a ton. I haven't had any problems. That's a good idea too. I don't know. I mean, it's been some months that I've used that machinist motherboard, and I didn't have any problems with it as far as the editing and stuff went. I did have problems with it on iRacing though, and I'm thinking it was because of a heat issue. I think we might have been thermal throttling because it was actually stuttering. So it would take off and work fine, especially running the Oculus Quest 3. It would take off and work fine, and then it would start stuttering, and it was terrible. So I'm gonna say the thing was getting just too hot and causing issues with it. On the editing part, it worked fine, but when I had the 4790, I edited Tuesday's video with that, and that thing edited perfectly. I didn't have a problem with it. But this Alienware edits good too. I edited a couple of videos with it, so this does better than all of them do. But I mean, we could obviously that going back to that 2700X, that Ryzen, I'm I'm really considering doing something with that one too. I don't know what we'd do with it. I need to sell it, but that's going to be that's a heavy case, man. I mean, when you pick that thing up built, you feel it. I don't even want to guess what the weight is of that, but it is one heavy case. I prefer my little NZXT cases. I really like these things. I never did get the RGB working on this rig right here, my main one. So you'll see RGB coming up from the memory on it, but the CPU cooler, none of the fans are lit up on it because I haven't figured out the proprietary plug. I went with what the comment said on that video, and I ordered stuff and it still don't fit this. So I'm done with it. Thermaltake used a different ecosystem on it. I can't figure it out, nor can I buy the connectors for it. So I'm done with it. I'm going to leave the Thermaltake stuff in there until I get real sick and tired of seeing it. And then I'm just going to put another ecosystem in there. Plus, I'm not entirely pressed with that 360-degree CPU cooler. Just so you know. So the Thermaltake 360, and I got that all in the marketplace fine. So that's kind of why that ecosystem's in that case. I'm not a fan of it. My next build is it's not a build, it was a marketplace find. And when you see the fans in that one, it really impressed me. So you'll see the video Tuesday, and we can talk about it a little bit on Thursday. I'm going to quit running my mouth for a second, though, and mute the mic out, and you can watch a little racing, and I'm going to run in here and grab me a drink. So I'm going to get me a refill. We'll go about 5 more minutes of this thing, and then I'm going to probably shut the live stream down. I know the wife and I have got to figure out dinner for tonight, so we might do that. I got the mic in my hand, by the way. That's how small this microphone is, right there. So I got it right in my hand, and you can hear it good. I could probably use this for gaming. I mean, just get on here and game. And I really need to put the overlays on that other computer because I think you guys would like that too. But let me go refill my drink, and I'll be right back. All right, we are back. I am back anyway. I think they might have went into a race session on this. You see the 5 car just sitting there, and I think they might be on a race session. I had to blow that up where I can see it because I have the mouse over here. I moved it. So I had to blow that up where I could see it. So let's try to maneuver out. Got to find the right mice or mouse here. Mice, listen to me. All right, let's pull this up. I'd like to find a race session. So let's withdraw from that. It's really hard to see because the screen's so small. I'm going to try to blow it up a little on this side. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's how it is around here. And I can tell you she's not extremely happy about it, but she does put up with it. All right, you want to watch the top split, second split, or the bottom split? Oh, we're going bottom. If we're going to watch one, it's definitely going to be the bottom, no doubt about it. So we'll select our car here. Hopefully it stays on the monitor. It don't try to go to anywhere else. I'm holding the microphone at this point. I had to take it off to go in there because I didn't want it to make any kind of weird noises or anything. So let's join the session, not the Oculus. We'll do monitor and launch the sim. So let's see what we get here now. I went full screen from the other one over to here so I could see what I'm doing. And with this mouse over here, I can use it just like I can sit at the computer we're streaming to, we're capturing to, and I could use the other computer. So I just can't mix up which mouse I'm using. Oh, that took me out of the full screen. Oh, no. We're going to definitely put that back up. All right, move that mouse out of the way, though, because that mouse interferes with this one. I guess I could stick this back on for a minute. Okay, we're back in there, and they're getting ready to race. What a battleship, huh? All right, so the paints are getting loaded up on here. If I hit the space bar, I can make all that stuff go away. Yeah, get on there and do some spotting, right? I'm not going to do any spotting for them. Unless you guys want to see some big wrecks, I get on there and start spotting. And this is bottom split anyway. So if you want to see some wrecks, you come to the right place for that today. I can't go much longer, though, because the wife just got home. So we got to figure dinner and stuff out. But I figured I'd go a few more minutes here. We at least got to see the start of this one in a couple laps, right? We are on bottom split on the Arca Menard series at Lanier Speedway. So when you're on bottom split, you're going to get bottom split, period. If we would have went to top split, we would have probably seen a lot cleaner racing, and it wouldn't have been as exciting, right? But if you get on bottom split, it's going to get exciting. That's right. You see some wrecks if I get on there spotting. There'll be some mad people. They'll be as mad as when I get in there and race with them. I don't wreck people usually. No, not on. I wreck people, but not on purpose. I'm not that kind of person. So, which PC are you referring to? Because we're on a capture card right now. So the one running it, I'll pull up the specs on in a minute. It's got a 6700 XT, 32 gigs of RAM, maybe 64. I don't remember. One I 12600K processor. That sound right? Oh, that didn't take long, did it? He's already turned around, headed the wrong way. So that didn't take long at all. Let's see if we can get the oh, where's my mouse at? There we go. Why ain't my mouse working? There it is. All right, so we're going to get on a different car here. We'll get up here with the leader. We can actually change the cameras too. So let's see if we can get a little broader look. Yeah, probably a bunch of youngins in this one, if I had to guess. Oh, I believe that was the same dude having problems again. Oh, there's somebody backwards. Maybe we got to get back there where the action's at. Wyatt's struggling a little bit here. Oh, believe his car is missing some parts. Now the 8 cars around. This is good stuff right here. We might do a live stream of just going through these. I'll get overlays set up before we do that if you want to check this stuff out. But we'll go all through here and do bottom splits. This is where you see the most action at. We're watching our favorite car here right now. Oh, we don't want to hear the driver chat because I'm pretty sure the one of them's cussing the other one out. This is how you learn, though. You learn, and I don't have anything against any of these guys because they're new to iRacing more than likely and sim racing, period. So this is how a person learns, right? You get out and you race. That's how you learn. There's no experience like seat time. Man, I'm really happy with the capture card, though. I really am. I'm glad that we. I'm glad that I finally got around to hooking it up. Yeah, I will. I'll let you know on that, Tommy. I'm going to work on getting the sound working. I'm going to wait till I get the other HDMI cables in before I do that because one of these cables I got hooked up is, I'm surprised it's even showing on the monitor, if you want me to be honest with you. But today was more about just getting the capture to work, period. I mean, to be able to pull from that PC to this one and run iRacing on that one, but it's nice to be close enough you can use the mouse so I can control what we're looking at over here versus being over there. So we'll try to get to where some action is real quick here. Let's go find our buddy. He's already missing the front end, so he's likely to put on a little bit more of a show for us anyway. But we will, Tommy, that's something we'll definitely test, buddy. I mean, I'm not afraid to do that at all. So we'll definitely test that. You've seen somebody else turn the wrong direction out there. And there's no cautions here. So this race is 55 laps. And when that thing goes green, you're going to go 55 laps. There's not going to be any caution flags. Man, I'm super. Oh, he just bit the wall hard. That wasn't a minor bite of the wall. He hit it hard there. 19 got a little bit loose. We've seen some of these guys getting loose in that practice session. So it don't surprise me in the race to see that a little bit, and some of these young cats struggling a little bit. We'll see if we can't find another. Well, hello there. Good to see you back here. It's pretty cool to be able to use that mouse. That thing's working great. I might work on the sound and pick the stream back up later if any of you guys are interested in that. I'm going to have to stop it for a little bit here or just let it run and let you guys watch racing. But this race will be over in 55 laps, so no, they should probably be able to run 55 laps at Lanier on a tank of fuel, I would guess. So I wouldn't see any reason to pit unless they are forced to pit because of too much damage. GTX Titan Hybrid. Nice pickup right there. Really nice pickup. I need to be on the lookout for something like that, actually. Man, it's amazing. I picked up that 1080 Ti, and it's amazing how good that those things still work in 2025. They're still a solid GPU. But I believe that NVIDIA is going to be dropping driver support for the 10 series. I don't know. I think they're still updating now, but I believe that they're eventually going to be dropping driver support for them. That only means that you have to run older drivers. They just won't make new drivers for it anymore, which is fine. I mean, I've been running my R9 280s like that for a long time now. So they still work, right? Sometimes we choose with new cards to run the oldest drivers anyway. I mean, that's just how it is because they're the more refined drivers and they work better. So I've never really been one to always say, oh, I need to update to the latest graphics card drivers because I honestly don't like those problems. Oh, no problem, man. That was a good deal we worked out. And I'm glad you like that motherboard. That's you picked a good one out there. So we worked out a good deal, and I'm really happy about that. You took care of me on some stuff, and we were able to stream with it. I actually the RTX 3050 will be on next Tuesday's video. So you'll see where it's going to. It'll be on next Tuesday's video. And I think that's going to be pretty cool. That should be a good video. It's a good marketplace find. Oh, let's see what's all on my phone here. Well, we're definitely on it, but I don't need to be. I can pause it out and save my battery on my phone because I'm watching it here anyway. I can see the live chat right on my screen. So it looks like the capture card's going to work out for us good here, and that's what I wanted to see. It's cool that you get a chance to look at my main rig because that's what we got this on here. So that gives you a chance to see what it's capable of doing. This it really isn't a test for it though. We're at what 280, 90, 300 frames per second, and that's on high settings. But that's not really a test for it. A test for it is when I'm racing in the Oculus and stuff like that. But now that we have the ability to screen capture or game capture, everything I test when we're doing motherboard tests and stuff like that, we'll be able to see it right here on the stream. And that's what this is about. So we can use it on live streams. I can use it on regular videos now. And I think it's just going to change the content and make it that much better. And that's what I'm striving for at SimStation. I want to be able to bring better content to you. And this is how I'm going to do it. I also have a green screen. So we may mess around with that and a chroma key. Next time around, I'll get a little cleanup done. And I might set that behind the racing rig and then put a camera in the front of it. On the racing rig, though, if we get into doing stuff like that, I'll put a camera on the pedals too. So you'll be able to see the gas and the brake pedal and stuff like that to know when I'm on the gas and on the brake. So I think that would be a pretty cool addition. This has been rather exciting. We got the Elgato. I believe this is a HD 60 Pro. And I did pick this up from somebody local in a marketplace find where I got the green screen at. And coincidentally, the 64 gigs of memory that's in this come from there. And the RTX 2060 that we put in the Leon Lee case come from the same person too. And this case did too, actually. So the whole case here did. And I don't know where that motherboard's at. It might be inside my Thermaltake case, the V10 case. So that might be where that's at. I think that that's going to do it for my stream now, though. I'm going to have to go figure out dinner and stuff like that. I'm not going to pick it up later. I'm going to work off camera on figuring out the audio from the computer that we're pulling from so we can hear the sounds of the cars, right? So I'll work on doing that next. And then once I get that figured out, we should be good to go from there. Oh, if I hit that space bar, that's not good. I messed that whole thing up, didn't I? I think I paused it or something. There we go. Huh, the space bar paused the whole thing. That kind of messed things up a little bit. Yeah, man, it's good talking to you again, Tommy. Each and every one of you that come in, I appreciate it. I know a lot of you do that on every live stream, and I appreciate that. And I'm sure these things will grow. The longer I stay with it. So that's the thought behind it. And like I said, I'm always going to be coming up with ways to make it better, to bring better content to you, better live streams to you. That's what I'm going to work on, and this is just part of that. So I wanted to bring you in on the Elgato HD 60 Pro, though, because I finally figured it out. The old guy finally learned a new trick. So we finally got the capture card working. The longer HDMI cables will be coming here, and I'll be able to run that right over to where we build these and test them at. And who knows, we might see different PCs go over here where my main one is, and we'll test them on iRacing, but I don't think I have to do that. I think we'll take the other rig and set it up after I get some cleanup done, and we'll actually use that rig for all the testing that we do on iRacing and stuff. If I'm going to put it through a torture test, I'm going to hook it up and jump in one of my league races that have 30 or 40 cars in it that really put a stress on it, and we're going to run it. That's a fact. You talk about when you're running the Oculus on that thing and pushing that computer that hard, it'll let you know if there's a problem. It'll also let you know how strong or weak that computer is. That's a fact. I know someone told me on a comment once that, well, that's a game from 2008, but I think they failed to realize that it's not a game, it's a simulation, and it gets updated frequently. So every 13 weeks to be exact, and sometimes updates in between that. We've come a long way on that. The sunset's in there now. I'll have to show you guys and gals that it's so real when you see the sunset now. I do like it better in the VR than I do on the monitors, personal preference wise. So we'll have to do a little trickery with cameras and stuff when it comes to that. Ultimately, though, that's going to do it. I'm happy that the Elgato's working good here, and that this old guy could figure it out, right? Been another fun SimStation stream. I hope you all have a safe evening and a safe weekend. Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, we'll have our regular video drop. And Thursday night, not only will I be back, but I'll be back with our capture card. So we'll have our capture card on that live stream, and you'll be able to see not only what we're working on, but you'll be able to see when it posts, because it'll be hooked to that same computer. That's going to do it for the stream here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you give it a like. After the stream's over, you can always comment on them too. But when we hit enough subscribers, we're going to build a mini ITX over there and ship it to somebody, because we're going to give it away. So that's going to be at the 1,000 subscriber mark. Thank you very much. We'll catch you on the very next SimStation video.